Why don't we jump into our next topic, which is sad and happy? Remember the Spiffing Brit tea PC that had that teapot pouring as part of the water loop?
Yeah.
Well, we have an update on it. Unfortunately, as we feared, it did indeed break in transit. And as we feared, the tea in the loop did indeed start supporting life.
Okay, so here's a question right off the hop. It broke in transit? When did we send this?
I don't know, 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, what?
Well, he hasn't been using it, but hold on. The story continues. So this is the Spiffing Brit PC. What was up with my hair that day?
You were on a...
I have no idea
bit
what
of a tear. This was only a year ago? Is this that YouTube thing where it was like essentially 2 years ago?
This was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Man, look at this. This is awful. Anyway, the point is, here's the finished PC. Did we ever actually... Yeah, there we go. We did an actual montage so you could check out the system. Absolutely incredible. Alex outdid himself. Got that teapot action. Unfortunately, the system has not been in action, finding loopholes and exploits on the perfectly balanced YouTube platform.
Yeah.
According to Overclockers UK, who repaired the PC, the GPU moved laterally in transit, causing the riser cable to essentially split in half. I'm only going to check out this close-up here because you guys should definitely go check out Overclockers UK's video. They did a whole video on this. I've seen this before. I wish it surprised me, but yep, this is the thing that happens. You could see it broke. So that would explain why it wasn't working.
Normally you want to ship those separately, but water cooled in gets a little harder.
Not always an option.
Yeah.
The repair team didn't have an identical replacement, so they used a Gen 4 Fantex riser cable with an adapter bracket. The water block, radiator, and loop, despite being gross, were successfully cleaned, though the pipe through the teapot was apparently too disgusting and had to be replaced.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I think they're saying the GPU block was successfully cleaned. The CPU block apparently turned out to be restricting the flow rate and had to be replaced, as well as the D5 pump. Interesting. Are they saying that it was because of the growth or because of...
Must be it. D5s are...
It was just very restrictive. No, the block. Anyway, I'm surprised they weren't able to clean the D5 as well. Anyway.
But they said as well as the D5 pump, right?
Interesting.
Meaning that had the same problem.
Anyway, the tea has apparently been replaced with a combination of EK cryofuel that is then dyed to resemble tea, and everything else seems to have arrived in working order. They apparently added their own branded mug to the build. Okay, that's the last thing that I am going to check out. I want to see how they integrated their stuff into our original build here. Here it is. So here's their footage. So they've added a Barrow CPU block, and where's their mug? Where's your mug at, boys?
I looked for it.
Show me your mug.
I found
not that mug. Get it? Face.
The Yorkshire tea box I don't think was originally there.
I believe it was, actually.
Oh.
That would have been an Alex innovation. I don't see the mug.
Yeah, I couldn't see it.
Well, anyway, great job. Thanks for getting that fixed up. Why do we ever build computers for creators? They always get broken in transit. And the funny thing is, like, we went out of our way.
T-Box was there, okay.
We create things. Couriers are just determined to destroy things. You know what? I think people don't appreciate what transit does to things. There's a reason that PC companies are like, yeah, you know what? We only build computers in America for Americans, because the longer something goes, the greater the chance that it will essentially vibrate itself into pieces. Check this out. Here, hold on. I'm just trying to find this thing. Here we go. Where is it? Dang it. There's this new, it's either new or it was recently in the news cycle. It's a hard drive destroyer, data sanitizer thingamajig that works solely on vibration. What's the company called? No, that's not it. I bloody well hate it. Here we go. Garner. There we go. Here it is. Okay, this is a promotional product, so I have no problem showing this video in its entire, or it's a promotional video for a product. Realistically, they're not going to get mad at us. It's called the Discmantler. Patent pending from Garner. You put the hard drive in, check this out. it shakes it. That's right, friends. See you later.
That's some vigorous shaking.
Everything is disassembled. It apparently does it in just a couple of minutes or something like that. And I think people underestimate what sitting on a truck or in the cargo hold of an airplane or being anywhere, being on a ship with those diesel engines going under it. I think they underestimate what these conditions do to a product. Heat cycling, increasing, decreasing, shaking and vibrating.
I think I've told this story before, but I used to have a very reliable client when I used to do like IT stuff on the side, who was a trucker who was actually on like some trucking TV show at some point or whatever. But he would often have his laptop running on his passenger seat, and it would just shake itself to death because they were all hard drives back then.
Yeah.
And he would come back to me, every however long, and another hard drive's dead. He doesn't need a better laptop. He uses it for like almost nothing, but he just needed a new drive. And I had like his favorite desktop background, which was like him standing next to his motorbike or whatever. So I would like set it back up exactly how he liked it with the programs that he liked. I didn't have an exact ISO because like obviously some things would change, whatever. And I'll just rebuild it for him every time. And then SSDs became like a thing. And I was like, well, man, I like hate to say it, but this is the last time I'm going to do this for you. And he's like, why? I was like, I got you a new thing. I'm not going to bother explaining it, but it's not going to die anymore. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And then, never heard from him again. It is what it is.
Apparently, this is totally unrelated. Apparently Doc Martens, like the shoes, is really struggling right now. And, big part of the problem might be that they have kind of qualityed themselves into financial trouble because their stuff just like lasts for a really long time.
Yeah.
SSDs, because of the growth in capacity, in performance initially, and then especially capacity now, I think have kind of saved themselves from that. But I hate to be this guy. This is a really scary thing to say, but I feel like we've reached the point now where people aren't going to need to upgrade their SSDs that much anymore. Like 1 terabyte has been kind of the magic sweet spot for what is definitely good enough for a boot drive for a long time. And I might buy some more storage, but that was not the way it worked before. I was essentially replacing my drive for a long time as we made our way through 60 gigs, 120 gigs, 256. And yeah, sure, you could run your OS on it, but for convenience, people were getting a new system. They were just getting a new SSD that was a much greater capacity. I feel like we've reached the point now where it's just not really necessary anymore. And unless you are, pull an Apple and lock the SSD to the system, you're going to be stuck with people just wanting to carry their drives forward.